I did a lot of work with Ladbrokes on the games over the course of the season. But if Ladbrokes had to give me odds on Dan McFarland being in his job at the end of the season a couple of weeks ago, those odds would have been very, very slim. The way that Ulster Rugby have played, his demeanour, the way his attitude comes across on the television. And then I think obviously the nail in the coffin was that interview after the Ospreys game. He blamed everything else, but what happened on the pitch in terms of the coaching that he has provided for his team. The scrum get absolutely home and hosed, and that is his area of expertise. That's what he coaches. That's where he played. But he forgot all about the touch on the scrum, which there was numerous penalties which give the Ospreys field position. It was just about throwing the intercept, which again is pointing the finger at young Jake Flannery, who's hardly seen any minutes this season, and then obviously the referee for the decision around the maul, which, in fairness to the referee, it could have been the wrong decision in terms of the interpretation of the law, but he did tell Tom Stewart twice to break off the maul, and Tom Stewart didn't listen to him, and therefore he gave the scrum. And off that resulting scrum, Ospreys still had to go 60 metres to get themselves into a drop goal position to try and win the game. So yeah, it was a very negative interview, and by all accounts, I think he lost the changing room, and ultimately, when you lose the players, and players can maybe stop playing for you, then your job's up, and he's moved on, and it's just interesting time that he's moved on at this point in the season, but we wish him well, and I'm sure he'll get another gig somewhere, and Ulster Rugby now need to move forward. Even this game and reading everything that's gone on so far during the week, I know the Irish press conference was yesterday afternoon, I think around 4 o'clock. Andy Farrell took to the media, and Warren Gatland did as usual, come out, named his team 5-6 days before they play Ireland, started the mind games of wanting to knock them off their perch, and they are the best team in the world, and it's a great challenge for his team to see where they're at, and it is going to be a huge challenge for Wales. It's going to be a massively difficult game for them to go to the Aviva Stadium and win. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think the last win that they had was 23-21 in 2012 at the Aviva Stadium, and I played in that game. Yellow carded last minute. Oh, don't talk to me. Lee Halfpenny kicked the 3 points. All the lads were looking at me saying, "Stevie, you just cost me our win bonus." So, and it was the first game of the Six Nations, and I think actually Wales went on to win the Grand Slam. But anyway, I still have nightmares about that, as you can tell. But yeah, it's going to be a hugely difficult game for Wales. Both teams on different trajectories in where they are currently, with for me more so with their attack. Like, it felt like Wales could have kept going for another 100 minutes against England in that second half, and they probably wouldn't have broken them down that easily. Where Ireland, look, every time they touch the ball or get into their multi-phase pod system, they look like they can cause teams massive problems, and I'm sure they will cause Wales problems. The only thing is that Rafael in the back row for Wales has been outstanding. What a groundhog he is, a real out and out seven. He's actually made a couple of line breaks too in the last few games, setting up one of the tries against England. And he just seems to be everywhere. He strikes me as he looks like a bricklayer or something, and then he pulls on the Welsh jersey and he just turns into a complete monster and just targets that breakdown. So that'll be a huge emphasis this week from Ireland. Will be around the breakdown and making sure that he doesn't get anywhere near that ball to slow it down and obviously cause problems for the Irish attack. The weather looks good, Donny, for tomorrow lunchtime. It looks like it's going to be clear skies. We all want to see the ball being thrown around. I think Wales showed in that second half against Scotland that they are able to throw it around themselves, and they are able to score some nice tries. It just feels that they won't have the power to cope with Ireland. It feels that the efficiency that Ireland play with, Wales just aren't there at the minute. I think I'm going to go with Ireland to beat the handicap, so I would go Ireland minus 22 points at 10-11 on this game. I know the last couple of games have been close for Wales, but it's just away from home, an inexperienced side. Their discipline has been fairly good up until this point, but they're going to be under the cosh against Ireland, and I expect them to give away more penalties. I expect Ireland to get the rolling ball going, cause them huge problems. 5, 10 meters out, Dan Sheehan, I'm sure he'll be sniffing around the back for his first try or anytime try score. You can nearly be guaranteed of that these days with Dan Sheehan or Ronan Keller, whoever starts. So yeah, it's all for me. It's all about Ireland this weekend. Can they keep it going? Are they going to trip up at some stage and put in a mediocre performance and give themselves a scare? They might well do, but it just doesn't feel like it's going to happen this weekend, Tony. Will it be the rush defence, the flying out of the line, the kamikaze defending that we've seen from England in the last couple of games that will effectively win this game for them, or will we see a change in mindset from Scotland? Finn Russell has kicked the ball out of hand in play more than any other out half in the competition so far, and they haven't been able to get into the wide channels anywhere near as much as they would like. And that's a complete contrast to the way they've played over the last couple of years. I'm not sure why they're going for a slightly more pragmatic game plan. Is it when they get ahead on the scoreboard that they sort of just tighten up a little bit? Well, the game against France showed that you got to keep the foot on the accelerator and keep going and keep trying to build a score. And you just watch the way Ireland play. I know they've turned down numerous opportunities at post to kick to the corner to keep applying pressure, where it feels like Scotland let the teams that they play off the hook very, very easily. So there has to be a huge emphasis on Scotland to play a bit more, but England will try and stifle that. And yeah, the last time Felix Jones's defence come up against a Scottish side, it was in the Rugby World Cup when South Africa beat Scotland. I think it was 18 points to 3 or 18 points to 6. So he's got Scotland's number. Just whether or not Scotland can go out and play, as you rightly said, they've won the last 3 games against England, but England will be looking to make a dent in that and try and go to Murrayfield and get a result.